Welcome to Crypto News Daily Part 1 of SEC versus Ripple, inside the case that could make or break the crypto industry. An investigation reveals Ripple is on a limb, but so is the SEC. A loss for Ripple could mean losing its XRP, while an SEC loss would erode its credibility. It was a bad start to Christmas. Garlinghouse and Chris Larsen's digital currency company Ripple had been riding high in 2020 amid the first crypto bull market in years. Then, on December 22nd, the lawsuit dropped. In a scorching complaint, the Securities and Exchange Commission said that Ripple Labs, which Larsen and Garlinghouse tout as the future of banking, had broken the law by selling unregistered securities. The fallout came quickly. News of the SEC suit torched half of the $28 billion market value of XRP, the cryptocurrency closely tied to Ripple. Crypto exchanges rushed to boot XRP off their platforms. The SEC lawsuit also muddied Ripple's reputation. It was a rough holiday for sure, says Garlinghouse. I've always viewed myself as one of the good guys in Silicon Valley who does what's right, only to have the US government assert in an inflammatory way you're playing dirty. For years Ripple occupied the number 3 spot in the cryptocurrency market, right behind Bitcoin and Ethereum. The company had built relationships with major banks and amassed an army of devoted followers. Now, the SEC threatened to unravel those achievements with some uncomfortable questions. Was Ripple no more than a glorified scam? Were Larsen and Garlinghouse's lofty claims about XRP just a pretext to line their own pockets? The cryptocurrency world, including the thousands of small investors who hold XRP, will soon find out as the case barrels towards a trial. Ripple, meanwhile, has adopted an unusual strategy, sparring publicly with the SEC rather than quietly settling, which is what most firms in its situation would do. The company has also hired elite legal talent, including the former head of the very agency it established. It pledges to fight the case right to the Supreme Court. For the SEC, the Ripple case is a test of strength. If the agency wins, its victory will spell trouble for many other crypto companies. If it loses, the outcome will mean humiliation for America's top financial cop and the erosion of its enforcement powers. In more than a dozen interviews, people close to Ripple and experts in securities law described SEC v. Ripple as a case that will not only decide the fate of the company, but shape the future of the crypto industry by determining whether cryptocurrencies should be treated like stocks. Billions of dollars are riding on the answer. Born in the Bitcoin era. Originally named OpenCoin, Ripple was founded by a group of programmers, including Jed McCaleb. A crypto pioneer, McCaleb also created the cryptocurrency Stellar and Mt. Gox, which grew into the world's largest Bitcoin exchange before it collapsed amid a catastrophic hack under a subsequent owner. McCaleb's team founded the precursor to Ripple in 2011 and Larsen, a wealthy entrepreneur, joined soon after. In 2012, the team created a company called Ripple Labs, and bequeathed it a digital currency named XRP, originally Ripple's. Unlike Bitcoin and Ethereum, which are minted slowly over time, XRP doesn't depend on miners to create and distribute its tokens. Instead, the Ripple founders created the entire supply of XRP, 100 billion of them, in one fell swoop. XRP has a blockchain ledger to track who owns the supply, but no one has minted a new token since 2012. Shortly after the currency began trading, speculators came to view it as a potential rival to Bitcoin and began to bid up its value. All of this presented the Ripple founders with a conundrum: how to persuade people of a real-world need for the 100 billion XRP they spun into existence. The two biggest cryptocurrencies have addressed this problem. In the case of Bitcoin, it enjoys a special place as the original crypto, and its relative scarcity, there will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins, has made it a store of value that its fans liken to digital gold. On Ethereum, meanwhile, millions of users pay to use its currency as gas to power smart contract transactions. The purpose of XRP is less clear. Like other tokens, XRP is tracked on a blockchain ledger with software nodes around the world that validate its transactions. The ledger, which is versatile and built by top cryptographers, is highly regarded in the industry. Even XRP skeptics such as crypto analyst Ryan Selkis, who labeled the currency toxic waste in his widely read annual report, praise the ledger itself. The challenge for Ripple, which still owns the bulk of those 100 billion XRP, is to show that all those tokens are good for, well, something. Ripple has tried for years to do just this. Its efforts include a 2015 push to persuade banks to pay XRP transaction fees while conducting money transfers on the XRP ledger. This proved a non-starter, though, as the banks made clear they liked the ledger but not XRP. Ripple responded by creating a new ledger product called XCurrent that was similar to the original one that let banks send messages and transfer money, but that did not require XRP. Ironically, XCurrent may be Ripple's most successful product to date, bringing in over $23 million, and positioning the company to succeed as a conventional SaaS, software as a service, firm. But that did not solve the problem of creating a market for the billions of XRP sitting on Ripple's digital shelves. So the company shifted to a kitchen sink approach. After it failed to persuade banks to use XRP, a former employee recalls that Ripple began exploring a wide variety of possible use cases for the currency, including an XRP card customers could use at gas stations. Ripple denies the gas card anecdote, but it's clear the company at this time was trying to find some use for all but XRP. This challenge facing Ripple, how to find a market for a novel product, is the sort of thing one might encounter in a business school case study. So the Ripple board turned to its then COO, Brad Garlinghouse, to solve it. Trim and energetic with a closely cropped beard, Garlinghouse is a Harvard Business School grad and well-known Silicon Valley figure with a streak of eccentricity. He is famous in Valley circles for the Peanut Butter Memo, a document he wrote while an executive at Yahoo. The memo, which was leaked and shared widely in tech circles, used condiment metaphors to argue, correctly, it turns out, that the company had spread itself too thin. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse. Upon being tapped for the top job at Ripple in late 2016, Garlinghouse made the same diagnosis as he had at Yahoo. Ripple needed one killer use case rather than dozens of experimental ones. The solution he landed upon was pitching XRP to banks and others as a bridge currency to facilitate global money transfers between smaller national currencies. According to Garlinghouse's bridge thesis, banks would embrace XRP for international transfers because it would eliminate the need to maintain reserves of minor currencies like the Philippine peso, reserves that tied up the bank's capital. To carry out the plan, Ripple persuaded a network of money transmitters to deal in XRP, meaning the banks themselves would only need to hold the currency momentarily. All of this activity would, in theory, increase liquidity and drive up the price of XRP. It was a complicated plan. To spur it along, Larsen and Garlinghouse negotiated deals with large global banks such as Santander and money transfer shops like MoneyGram. Ripple even bought a 10% stake in MoneyGram to encourage the company to use XRP in its operations. The bridge currency initiative involved another new product named XRapid, later XVIA, that behaved like XCurrent but also facilitated the transfer of XRP. The distinction between the various X products has been an ongoing source of confusion for many outside the company. Meanwhile, Ripple took on the trappings of a major financial company. It moved its headquarters to a stone building near the Bank of America Pyramid in San Francisco's financial district, and opened offices in global money centers, including London and Singapore. It sponsored swanky conferences and hired entertainers like Snoop Dogg. One evening in Toronto, hundreds of Ripple guests nibbled satays and sipped scotch while aging rock legend Steve Miller grinded out the Joker and other hits. All of this helped spur XRP to new heights. Whether due to Garlinghouse's efforts or the broader 2017 crypto bubble, or most likely both, the price of XRP galloped from less than a penny in 2016 to $3 in January of 2018. By this time, Ripple looked and acted like a big bank. Garlinghouse did his best to promote that image, appearing at serious finance events and on TV in elegant gray suits. The company still struggled to make a viable case for XRP, but it was trying hard. Unfortunately for Ripple, the SEC didn't view the company this way at all. What the agency saw instead was a massive grift, a stock swindle that used fancy finance trappings to snooker suckers into buying XRP. The SEC sued on December 22nd, dropping the hammer on Ripple and taking the unusual step of naming Larsen and Garlinghouse as defendants. The agency alleged the two men and their company had made billions by unloading unlicensed securities onto the public. The SEC complaint caused the price of XRP to tumble from around 58 cents to 21 cents in late December, though it has more than rebounded since amid a banner year for crypto overall. The case against Ripple: execs talked up XRP while quietly selling billions of it. Larsen is pale and soft-spoken but projects a quiet intensity. After the SEC charges dropped right before Christmas, he took long walks in San Francisco's sweeping Presidio district and brooded. It felt terrible, like a gut punch. I thought, come on guys, we're an American company, says Larsen, grimacing as he recalls telling his children that he was a defendant in a lawsuit splashed across the front pages of the business press. Garlinghouse says the lawsuit left him dismayed but also puzzled. The SEC filed the allegations in the waning days of the Trump administration, and, days later, both the agency's chairman, Jay Clayton, and top enforcement official Mark Berger announced they would leave their jobs early. Garlinghouse recalls asking himself, is this personal in some way? Both Larsen and Garlinghouse convey a sense of bafflement and sorrow about the SEC lawsuit, but it can hardly have come as a major surprise. The agency had been investigating Ripple since 2017, and its executives were subject to a litigation hold, forcing them to preserve emails and other documents, for years. Legal experts believe the SEC's decision to drop the lawsuit reflected less a bolt out of the blue decision than a refusal by Ripple to accept the terms of a settlement proposed by the agency. As for Larsen and Garlinghouse, both men possess a pugnacious streak they conceal beneath a genial demeanor. Larsen, for instance, has paid to install surveillance cameras across his hometown of San Francisco, a move decried by civil liberties advocates, but applauded by those who say the city's political class has failed to address rampant property crime. Garlinghouse, while always sunny in public, can flash a hot temper in private, employees say, and he has traveled with former U.S. Special Forces troops as bodyguards. Such security precautions are not uncommon among crypto executives who have been the target of kidnapping plots. The company they run has not been shy about protecting its interests. When executives leave Ripple, they receive fat severance packages but must sign fearsome NDAs in return. This tactic makes it difficult for reporters and others to divine what is actually happening inside Ripple. The SEC, however, has made clear what it thinks Ripple is all about. In a 70-page complaint filed in Manhattan federal court, the agency claims that Ripple's corporate trappings serve as a facade for its real agenda, flogging highly speculative XRP tokens that, in the interests of the public, should have been registered as securities. In its complaint, the SEC suggests the only reason money transmitters are using XRP as a bridge currency is because Ripple paid them to do so. This applies to MoneyGram, the money transfer giant Ripple partially owned, and which was briefly a linchpin for its bridge strategy, though Garlinghouse told CNN no quid pro quo exists. When MoneyGram is moving money from US dollar to Mexican peso, they're buying XRP at market. There's no special sweetheart deal there, Garlinghouse told CNN. The SEC complaint says this is not true, noting that Ripple gave over 200 million XRPs to MoneyGram, most of which the company dumped on the day it received them. Ripple and MoneyGram sever ties in March. Twisting the knife, the SEC also paints Ripple's overall bridge currency strategy as a flop, noting that only 15 money transmitters and no bank signed on, and that in the space of 2 years, bridge transactions never accounted for more than 1.6% of XRP's total volume. All this time, says the SEC, Ripple was force-feeding XRP into the market through quiet deals with large trading firms such as Jump Capital and Galaxy Capital. Under the terms of these deals, Ripple would sell XRP from its reserve at 4% to 30% discounts, allowing the buyers to promptly offload their purchases on the open market for a guaranteed profit. On some occasions, says the SEC, Ripple would ask a trading firm to time its XRP buy orders to coincide with its corporate announcements. Meanwhile, Ripple also tried to use direct cash payments to get other firms to use XRP. In an email to the Winklevoss twins, who founded the exchange Gemini, a Ripple executive, copying Garlinghouse, wrote, "Does a $1 million cash payment move the needle for a Q3 listing?" Gemini declined the offer. In response to whether the allegations are true, Ripple referred Decrypt to its reply in the SEC case. The reply includes broad-based denials but not specific ones concerning its campaigns to pay partners to use XRP. The upshot is the SEC believes Ripple pursued a cynical plan to manufacture demand for the XRP on which the company depends almost entirely for its revenue. Then there are the allegations against Larsen and Garlinghouse, which are especially withering. In the case of Larsen, the SEC notes he quietly unloaded $450 million worth of XRP and, in an additional swipe, observes that his previous company landed in hot water over the sale of unlicensed securities. The agency's depiction of Garlinghouse is even less flattering. While he was selling millions of XRP, Garlinghouse frequently told investors that he was invested in XRP, and that he was bullish on the investment. He also encouraged investors to be patient and look at the price of XRP on a longer time horizon, the complaint states. It also cites a public declaration by Garlinghouse, who has pocketed $150 million by selling XRP, that he is very, very, very long XRP. I'm on the hodl side. Decrypt asked Garlinghouse how he could justify telling the public he was very, very, very long XRP even as he sold large amounts of it. He replied that being long doesn't preclude a person from selling a portion of their holdings, and that CEOs regularly sell shares of the companies they run. Garlinghouse added he had sold only a very small percentage of his XRP stash. Whatever you think of Garlinghouse's explanation, or of Ripple's behavior, the SEC complaint makes a forceful case that the company and its executives have been less than forthcoming about their dealings with XRP. But Garlinghouse and Larsen aren't the only ones who face hard questions. The agency pursuing them also has explaining to do. Thank you for watching part 1. Be sure to check out part 2. Also, if you like this piece, please leave a like and subscribe.